episode 4 of the weekly episodic, the sports entertainment show, starring me, Jason Miller. And check this out. First, we're going to do Battleground results, and then we're going to get into Raw. Battleground was about average, I would say. It had some good moments, had some bad things. Honestly, I think the best way to describe it, it's almost going to be like the little brother of SummerSlam, because I think there's going to be a lot of rematches in SummerSlam. So, first of all, let's talk about the pre-show. If you're going to have two matches that have 4 minutes and 30 seconds of in-ring time, why bother? You need to do better than that. There's no reason why they couldn't have put a better match in there. If you're trying to sell pay-per-views, if you want people to see this for free, and then you're actually trying to, sell the pay-per-view for the people that are actually going to buy this, do better. That's not good, okay? Basically, both those matches are exactly what you thought you would get. Obviously, I'm talking about Fandango, Adam Rose. I'm talking about Naomi and Cameron. But, make it a match that matters. Then, as far as the actual show goes, the spacing was messed up. They had to know that the Usos and Roper and Harper and Rowan was going to be the best match of the show. So why would you start off with that? I know they wanted a hot start, but nothing else could live up to it. And the way they worked before, you knew it was going to steal the show. So I don't know. And actually, I've seen a lot of people complain that those first two falls of that match were really quick. I have no beef with that at all, because it was a 3-fall match, so there's nothing problem. I do have beef that Harper's shoulders were not on the mat for that 3 count. That was sort of a given. I think they should almost do it over. It looks so fake sometimes. Referees need to do better. But anyway, but yeah, obviously the wrong team won, and there's a lot of reasons for that. But the actual match itself, yes, it stole the show. It was Match of the Year candidate. Fantastic. That's what wrestling's all about. Some people are upset that Rollins and Ambrose never happened. I don't have issues with that. Honestly, they're just saving it for SummerSlam, and I'm okay with that. They had the brawl to at least try to get the crowd involved. Yeah, talk about that later. I think it was a good little taste. I'm okay with how that went down with the beatdown backstage and all that. I'm okay with that. AJ and Paige, under the way it was constructed, again, I think they were saving it for later. They're saving their best maybe for SummerSlam. I don't know, but they can both have a better match. And there really wasn't a rivalry in place there because of the BFFs. Again, we'll talk about Raw later. Rusev and Swagger actually that's about what I thought it would be. But this is where the crowd in Tampa, Florida, terrible crowd. And they should have been so much more hotter for that match, and they just didn't care. And honestly, those guys did a good job. And I also like the endings to try to lead you into something that could happen later on. Rusev did a good job of selling the ankle injury. I was impressed in that aspect of it, and the cheap count-out win, it's good stuff. I like that. I enjoyed that match. Jericho Wyatt just did not live up to the hype, but again, I believe they're both holding back because they're saving it for later. So, like I said, that's why I think this is like the little brother of SummerSlam, because I think these matches you're going to see it in SummerSlam, and they're going to be better and more well done. The Battle Royal I whiffed on. I didn't have Miz as a dark horse in that. And that's because we've already seen it before. And the actual Battle Royal itself was above average for Battle Royals. But again, come on. As soon as The Miz was hiding outside the ring, you knew he was going to win. Anybody who's been watching wrestling for any extended period of time knew that The Miz was going to win that 2 minutes in, once they saw him laying out there and he wasn't eliminated. I know that you only do so much with Battle Royals, but that one, that's been done a million times, okay? You can't just rehash the same storyline. But all the other stuff, a lot of good stuff. Kofi had his spots. The crowd was definitely into it. I was into it. I did like the Battle Royal. Just again, I mean, we've already seen The Miz, and I do like The Miz's character right now. I like him being extra, douchey. I like that. But I just don't see... And also, if you're going to win, you're going to win that belt, you need to make that belt mean something. Again, we'll get into that at Raw. The main event, for what it was, it actually exceeded my expectations for those four guys. They did a good job of Kane being the protector at the beginning, then turning on Orton, halfway through the match, and they gave a little bit of Reigns and Cena, but not a lot. I thought they did good. Again, yeah, because WWE's retarded, they decided to have, the poster of Lesnar and Cena, so you knew Cena was winning that match, which was just amazing that they made that mistake. Anyway, so let's get into Raw. Now, actually, I really, really liked Raw, but I want to get over with the bad stuff first to get into the good stuff. Bad stuff, Cesaro. Why is Cesaro losing matches so often? Why can we not just turn him into a face and be done with this? I mean, why does he have to impress Triple H and then go and lose to Ambrose? Well, he didn't lose to Ambrose. I guess that was a protected, Ambrose going crazy. But either way, I mean, they need to just say, okay, Ambrose face, King of Swing, go do it, swing people, let the fans go nuts. There's no reason why I can't. Flow Rider. Look, I'm a DJ. I got my Rock the Party shirt on, my Rock the Party hat. Okay, I love music. I like Flow Rider. I'm playing his songs constantly when I'm DJing. But why does it mix with wrestling? Why does it mix with sports entertainment? Maybe at WrestleMania, okay, I get it. But just some random Raw, why bother? Why? What does that do for you? Do you think you're getting some new fan? Do you think you're getting... why? There's no logical explanation for it. And it's nothing to do with Flo Rida. Any music act at all. Okay, WrestleMania, make it seem special, but random Raws, no. And why have him push over Heath Slater like that? Why? I mean, did you notice? Did you notice in the Battleground, Battle Royal, fans popped for Slater a little bit. Give the guy a chance to look good, and then watch what happens. It's amazing. I mean, they just, it seems like sometimes they just don't let their talent be talented, and okay, of course, Bo Dallas was my pick to win that Battle Royal. He didn't win, but come on, just because the crowd went crazy, and they did. That was the one time Tampa actually got loud, was when Bo Dallas, eliminated somebody. I don't remember who he eliminated, but they got happy about it. That does not mean, WWE, that you need to make him a face. Do not make him a face. That will ruin him. He is a heel. He needs to be the biggest heel in the world, and that is how he can succeed. Don't make him a face, because he's just going to get lost in the crowd. Okay? If you want him to be somebody, make him a heel. And when you have him in a match with Damian Sandow, that makes Bo Dallas look face-ish. Why? Why are you doing that? Such frustration. And, okay, Goldust and Stardust. We don't need another weird promo from those guys. Let them wrestle. They got gypped from the belts way too soon, months ago, when they lost to the New Age Outlaws for whatever reason. That was so ridiculous. And, I mean, they gave constantly some of the best tag team matches. And what should have happened is that Harper and Rowan should have won the tag team belts, and then you would have a face team in Goldust Stardust to have some amazing matches, because those guys can go, and it would have been a great wrestling situation. But again, for some reason they have the Usos win, and you know how important the Usos are? Because they think the Usos didn't even make Raw. They weren't on Raw. Think about that. I mean, come on. Tag Team Championship, who knows? They didn't even make a 3.5 hour show. Okay, I'm sorry, 3 hours and 6 minutes. My DVR tapes it for 3 hours and 35 minutes, but still. All right, now I know that was a lot of negative stuff, but there's a lot of stuff that I liked. I really liked Xavier Woods' promo. That came out of left field. It surprised me. And anything that gets mid-card interesting is good. And him to get Kofi and Big E and rally the troops, that's great stuff. Okay, get them. I don't care if they're faces or heels or anything. Whatever they're gonna do with those three, give them a storyline and let them do something. Okay, and actually, if Xavier is that good with promo work, just let him be the manager guy. You know what I mean? That was good stuff. Miz and Ziggler was a great match. It had to be the match of the night, but. If you want the Intercontinental Championship to look like something, you can't have the guy lose all the time. And it's so easy to... Here's what should have happened. That match should have still happened the way it happened. Okay? But you want the crowd to get invested? Just make it a championship match. Make it a championship match. Okay? From the start. You don't need a situation where the challenger needs to beat the champion to invoke a chance to get said championship. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know where that started. It started a couple years ago, but I don't like it. They don't need explanations because I know they need a heel authority figure to make a match. You don't have to do that. Just make the match. Just say, hey, next up we've got the Intercontinental Championship on the line. Ziggler versus The Miz. Fans would have been into it even more than they were, and they were into it pretty hot because, like I said, it was a really good... This is actually one of the best matches I've seen Miz wrestle, to be honest. But what they could have had happen is that Miz could have gotten counted out, disqualified. He doesn't have to lose the belt, okay? But you need to make him look like he is something. And just losing to Ziggler makes it this championship doesn't mean anything again. I hate when they do that. Hate it with a passion. And I know they're just probably working up a rematch for Ziggler and Miz, most likely at SummerSlam, I would assume. But... Then if that's what you're gonna do, then do some backstage, promos, do that kind of stuff, and work up to that match. Don't have champions lose because it doesn't make the championship feel important. Okay. Now, one thing I was wrong on, the Page attack was done very well, and it actually surprised me. I wasn't ready for it at that particular moment. I mean, I knew they were building up to it. But the way they did it, it was at a good time, and the timing was done well, and it was a good beatdown. And I think it's going to make the Paige AJ Lee rivalry into something, and then they can go the way they can go at SummerSlam. So I am definitely pro of that. But now let's talk about the two big highlights of Raw. Brie and Stephanie McMahon. Listen, seriously, go onto your WWE Network. Again, if you don't have it, go buy it. And watch Stephanie McMahon 10 to 15 years ago, whenever she first debuted, and see how uncomfortable she looks on the mic. And then watch her now. She is by far doing the best work of her career. And she's the best heel honestly, the heel authority thing has been so overdone and overplayed from Eric Bischoff to everybody over the last 15, 20 years. But right now, Stephanie McMahon is the best of all of them. Okay? I mean, she is doing fantastic work. She's so unlikable, and she's so good at being unlikable. And she did a great job of being surprised when she was arrested, and the crowd went crazy, and that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have a storyline that makes the crowd go nuts, and they went nuts, and Triple H did his job well of being I think I'm going to stay here and do the show anyway stuff instead of going to jail with her. Good, it was great show, great angle all the way around. And then, of course, the big news, and it's I can't say that I'm surprised because we all knew it was going to happen, but good Lord, Paul Heyman, do you understand how amazing he is? That he can go out there and talk for 20 minutes and do it so fluently, so eloquently, and just nail it. I mean, absolutely nail it every time he's out there. Fantastic. He is the best promo guy on the planet right now, and it's not even... You can't even talk about it. There's no discussion to be had. And he, honestly, that promo shows you why Brock Lesnar beat Undertaker at WrestleMania. That's the reason. And, and he can't argue it. I mean, it makes it look fantastic. And I really wonder if they're going to show highlights or, footage, whatever you want to call it, of the last Cena Lesnar match because I loved that match. I really, really like that match because Lesnar's such a loose cannon. I don't know if they're going to or not. They might just sweep it under the rug because Cena won. You know what I mean? And they don't want any thoughts of Lesnar looking any weaker than than what he is. Not that he never has looked weak, I guess, at least in the last 6 months. But it's just interesting to me because they had such a brawl the first time. I don't know if they can do better this time. I mean, I'd love to be able to see it. I mean, from all accounts, Cena's going to go make his movie, and Lesnar's going over. It seems like they're going to have. I mean, my early reports that it's going to be Reigns and Lesnar at WrestleMania, and that's a huge mistake. Huge mistake. I mean, if WWE thinks Reigns is ready to carry this company, they're wrong. They are so wrong. It's not going to happen. They're hot for him now, but he doesn't have staying power. He doesn't because he's green and a little bit in the ring. He's green on the mic, and they're going to find it out. But anyway, I thought Raw was great. Definitely above average Raw. I'm looking forward to the next episode. And until then, hey, Zack Ryder, you just won a match on TV for the first time in 11 months. Are you serious, bro? Are you serious?